Hi students, in this video we'll discuss eliminating useless symbol from the given context-free grammar, or as you know, it is simplification of the given context-free grammar. You may get the question like either eliminate the useless symbol from the given grammar or simplify the given grammar. Right? So in the previous video we have seen one example, and one more example we'll discuss in this video. If you see this grammar, there is some difference between this grammar and the previous grammar. Right? In this grammar, you have one production, epsilon production. What do you mean by epsilon production? If you have only epsilon in RHS, I'll tell, if you have only epsilon in RHS, it is known as epsilon production. Something like this, A tends to epsilon, S tends to epsilon. You should have only epsilon in RHS. Such productions are known as epsilon productions. Right? So, in the previous grammar, we don't have this epsilon production. Right, but here we have this epsilon production, and moreover we have some unit productions. What do you mean by unit productions? Single non-terminal in RHS. Single non-terminal in RHS. You know the form of context-free grammar is A tends to alpha. Right? For every context-free grammar, LHS will be single non-terminal. Right? Along with this single non-terminal in LHS, if you have a single non-terminal in RHS, right, single non-terminal in RHS, right, it is known as unit production. Unit production. What is unit production? Single non-terminal in RHS. Something like this. Right, single non-terminal in RHS. Right, if you have like this, it is not unit production. It is a combination of non-terminal and terminal. So it is not unit production. Single non-terminal in RHS. You may ask here, I have only single non-terminal, but you have terminal also. So it is not a unit production. Right? There should not be any terminals in RHS. You should have only one non-terminal in RHS. Such productions are known as unit production. So in simplifying, if you have this epsilon production, what is epsilon production? Epsilon in RHS. Right? Only epsilon in RHS is epsilon production. So while simplification of context-free grammar, if you have epsilon productions or unit productions, right, you have to eliminate all this epsilon and unit productions, and at last only you should do this elimination of useless symbol. Since in the previous video we have taken a grammar, that grammar doesn't have any epsilon and unit productions, so directly we have done by eliminating useless symbol. Right? But here in this grammar we have epsilon production, so we have to eliminate epsilon production. We have unit production, so in step 2 we have to eliminate unit production, and we have to eliminate this useless symbol as step 3 only. Right? So we will solve this example. Right? So first put the heading as eliminating epsilon production. Right? Eliminating epsilon productions. Eliminating epsilon productions. So again this elimination of epsilon production has 2 steps. First step is you have a tabular column, old variable, new variable, and productions. Right? Initially your old variable will be 5. Now what you have to do is like check this grammar and write only epsilon production in this production column. only epsilon production. What is epsilon production? You should have only epsilon in RHS. You should have only epsilon in RHS. Take and write such productions. A tends to epsilon. I have only one epsilon production. Now write variable. Variable is A. Now what you have to write? Copy this new variable to old variable. Right? Then from old variable to new variable. Now what you have to do is like, you have to substitute this epsilon in the remaining productions and you have to check whether you get only epsilon in RHS. Only epsilon in RHS. Right? What is the variable A? Where do I have this A? Here. Take this production, S tends to A. When I substitute A tends to epsilon, right? What will I get? A into epsilon? It's nothing but A. But what should I get? I should get only epsilon in RHS. But what am I getting? I am getting only A. Right? So I cannot take this production. Next, where do I have this A? Here. B tends to A. Right? Substitute A tends to epsilon here. A into epsilon. What will I get? Again, I am getting A. I am not getting only epsilon. Right? So, no more new productions. And at the end of step 1, you are supposed to write nullable variables. Right? Epsilon is nothing but null. Right? Nullable variables are A. Right? Now, coming to step 2. Right? You make two table column. Given productions and resulting productions. Right? See the question and write all the productions one by one. So I write my first production. S tends to A, B and C. Right? So first, what are the nullable variables? Only A is nullable variable. What is the meaning of that? Only for the non-terminal or variable A, I can substitute null. Right? I can substitute null. For other non-terminals, I cannot substitute null. So, take and write the first production. Copy this production as it is in resulting production. Right? S tends to A, B and C. Right? Copy the productions as it is in resulting productions. Now what I have to do? For this variable A, I have to substitute null. Right? Where do I have this A? Here. Right? So when I substitute null, when I substitute null for this A, what will I get? A into epsilon. What will I get? I get A. Right? So I will write this A. Any other variable A is there? No. That's it. Right? So whatever variables you are getting in step 1, only for those variables you can substitute null. Right? Only for those variables you can substitute null. Next, take and write the next production. A tends to A, B. Right? Don't write this epsilon because what are we doing now? We are eliminating epsilon production, so no need to write. Copy this production here in resulting production. A tends to A, B. Right? And check whether I have any A. Check the RHS. Right? Check the RHS. Am I having any A variable to do this substitution? Right? I don't have. Next, coming to the next production. B tends to A. Copy down. B tends to A. Check the RHS whether I have A to do the substitution? Yes, I have A. So for this A, you can substitute null. So what will I get? I get A. Then you put an or symbol and write that. How do I get this A? B tends to A. I'm substituting null for this capital A into epsilon. What will I get? A. That A I am write one or symbol and write. Next step. C tends to small c, capital C, D. Is the board visible? Yeah. Right? Copy as it is. C tends to small c, capital C, D. Am I having any A variable in RHS? No. Right? So I can't do any substitution. Next step. D tends to A, B, D. Copy this. D tends to A, B, D. Am I having any variable? A? No. This is not variable, this is terminal. Right? Uppercase letters are variable. Right? So I don't have. So this is my resulting production. Right? This is my resulting production. That is after eliminating epsilon production, this is the answer I got. Now with this, what should I do? I should move to the next step. What is the next step? I have to eliminate unit productions. I have to eliminate unit productions. Since my grammar has unit productions, while simplifying, right? First I have eliminated epsilon. Next I am going to eliminate unit productions. Then at the last I will be eliminating the useless productions. Right? So I will copy this resulting production here. I will rub the remaining. While eliminating unit productions, what answer you are getting in eliminating epsilon production, use that answer and do. Right? So I will copy down this resulting production because this is the answer for eliminating epsilon production. So I will copy down. S tends to senior. A, B, C, A. S tends to A. And you can listen here. There are 2 times A is there. Right? So no need to write twice, you can write only once. It is not needed, you have to write twice. So I will rub this. What am I going to do? I am going to eliminate unit production. Put the heading as eliminating unit productions. In eliminating unit productions, right, you can start writing from the last productions. Right, wherever unit production is there, only those productions we have to eliminate. What is unit production? Only one non-terminal in RHS. Right? If your grammar has only one non-terminal in RHS, that is your unit production. So B is one unit production, C is one unit production. That is S tends to B is a unit production, S tends to C is a unit production. Right? This is not unit because I have terminals also. It is combination of variables and terminals. Right? Similarly, this is also not unit production. Be very careful. Right? Only these two are unit productions. I have fixed those productions. Only those productions you have to replace. Remaining then you have to write as it is. Remaining productions you have to write as it is. So I start writing from the last production. What is my last production? D. D tends to A, B, D I have written. Next, only these two I have to touch. Remaining thing I have to write as it is. Right? So write the C production. C, C, D. What is B production? B tends to A, A. A production, A, B. Now coming to S production. First two I write as it is A and A. Now in the place of this B, write the B production. Write the B production. Right? So A. When you write this B production, see A, it is there already. So no need to write twice. It is enough to write only once. Right? Next, what should I do? In the place of this capital C, write the corresponding production. What is it? Small c, capital C, D. Right? This is the answer you are getting after eliminating your unit productions. So with this answer, you should move to the next step. What is the next step? Eliminating useless symbols and productions. Eliminating useless symbols and productions. So in simplification of CFG, if your grammar has epsilon productions, unit productions, you have to eliminate those things, and at last only you have to simplify it. Be careful. Okay? Before solving, you check whether your grammar has epsilon. If it has epsilon, you have to eliminate it. If it has unit productions, you have to eliminate unit productions, and then you have to start solving your start simplifying your CFG. That is, you are eliminating your useless symbols and productions. Right? So this is your answer. So I'll write this answer. A tends to small c, capital C, B. Okay. Right. Next, put the heading as eliminating useless symbols. Right. Eliminating useless symbols and productions. Right? You know how to solve this. We have seen in the previous video. Again, it has two steps. We have to make two tabular columns. Step 1 tabular column will be old variable, new variable, and the productions. Old variable, new variable, and the productions. Right? What are we supposed to write in production? Initially, write the old variable as 5. How to write the productions? Check this production. Pick the productions that has only terminals in RHS. Only small letters in RHS. Right there. You have only terminals in RHS, only terminal and only terminal. So how many productions you will write? S tends to A, B tends to A, and D tends to A, B, D. Right? B tends to A, B, D. What should I do next? Copy all the variables. S, B, D. Next is copy from this new variable to old variable. S, B, D. Then from old variable to new variable. S, B, D. Now what should I do? I have to substitute these productions in the remaining productions, and I have to check whether I am getting only terminals in RHS. Right? So what is my first variable? Yes. I'll check for variable yes. Right? In the RHS of the production, you check. Am I having any yes? No. Right? So I cannot substitute this production. Leave it. Next, coming to the next variable, B. Check whether you have B in RHS of these productions. Right? No, here I have. A tends to A, B. So in the place of this B, what will I substitute? I will substitute this B. So what will I get? A. I am getting only terminal in RHS. So what should I do? I have to write this production here. A tends to A, B. I have to write this production. Next, any other B? No. Next, you check for D. Right, yeah, I have D here. What is the production? Yes, tends to small c, capital C, D. And what I can substitute? I can substitute D. So, small c, capital C, in the place of D, A, B, D. Am I getting only terminal in RHS? No, because I have a capital letter here. I have a variable here. I am not getting only terminal in RHS. So, I cannot include this production. Right? Any other? Similarly, this C also, same thing happens. I cannot include. Right? So, if I take this C tends to small c, capital C, D, and if I substitute for capital D, A, B, D, I will be getting mixture of terminals and non-terminals. I won't get only terminals in RHS. So, I cannot do that substitution also. Right? So that's it. Right? Now what am I going to do? I am going to include this variable here. Right? And copy this new variable to old variable. S, A, B, D. Copy from old variable to new variable. Right? S, A, B, D. Next, what should I do? In the previous row, I got few new productions, right? Using these productions, substitute these productions in the remaining production and check whether you get only terminal in RHS. Right? So, what is the variable here? Capital A. So, here I have a production. S tends to A. So, when I substitute this, in the place of A, what will I write? A, B. Right? You check whether I have any B productions in the previous step. Yeah, I have. So, what is that B? A. Now check, am I getting only terminal in RHS? Yes, I have only terminal in RHS. So, what should I do? I have to include this production here. A tends to A. Right? Next, check any other A. Yeah, I have one more here. B tends to A. What should I do? First, I substitute for A. What is A, B. Now, check whether you have any B production in the previous row. I have a B production in the previous row. What is that? A. Now, I am getting only terminal in RHS. So, what can I do? I can include this B production here. B tends to A. B tends to A. Any other A? No. Right? I don't have any other A. So, this S is there already. B is also there already. So, no more new variable. Right? So, with this I can conclude it. I can conclude this step 1. Right? Next, what is step 2? Again, I have to make a tabular column, 3 columns, B dash, T dash and P dash. Right? Initially, this P dash and T dash will be null. I will be starting with my start symbol, yes. Right? You check step 1 and write the S productions. Right, in step 1, how many S productions I have? In row 3, I have one S production, and in row 1, I have one more S production. Take and write. S tends to A. Now, what you have to write? Do see this production and write all the terminal. I have only one terminal. And then copy down this variable to the next row. And then check the production for new variable. Whether you have any variable, you have a variable A. No doubt that. Right? Next, what you have to do? Write the A production. Check step 1 and write the A production. How many A productions you have? Only one. A, B. From the previous row, is the board visible? Yeah. From the previous row, copy down the terminal. Then check the production, whether any new terminal is available or not. No more new terminal. Right? Copy down the variable from the previous row. S tends to A. S comma A. Right? S comma A. And then check this production for new variable. Am I having any new variable? Yes, I have a new variable B. Now write the B production. Write down. I will draw one. Right. Closely I write P dash, T dash, P dash. Hope now it is visible. Yeah. Now what I have to do? See step 1 and write the B productions. How many B productions I have? I have 2 B productions. Combine and write A, comma, sorry, or A. Write down. And copy the terminal from the previous row. Copy the terminal from the previous row. And check the production for new terminal. I don't have any other new terminal. You can leave it. Then copy the variables from the previous row and check the production for new variable. Am I having any new variable? No. So with this you can conclude it. Right? So how will you write the final grammar? Final grammar after simplification G is equal to BTPS. See this step 2 and write all the variables. S, A, B. Terminals is only A. And what are the productions? Write all the 3 productions. S tends to AA or A tends to AB, and B tends to AA or A. And S is start symbol. This is start symbol. So, in simplification of your CFG, you have to check the question thoroughly. Question may have epsilon and unit production, or question may have only epsilon production. Question may have only unit production, or without epsilon and unit, they will give a grammar. Right? So, if epsilon is given, and epsilon and unit production, it is there in your grammar, means you have to follow this order. First eliminate epsilon, then unit, and then useless. Right? If epsilon and unit is not there, means directly you can come for this elimination of useless symbol and production. Hope you understood this. Thank you.